Greetings and salutations. Trying something new tonight. So, as a storyteller, one of the things that I've done for years is obviously if there's a campfire, there's going to be stories. So, I've got my lantern, turned off the lights in the apartment, and thought, let's just kind of set that environment up for tonight, shall we? The other is bedtime stories. So, hence, got my robe on, I'm all comfy, fresh out of the shower. Thought we could do a little talking about writing. My favorite topic. Well, one of them. Mythology probably is the other. Oh, but one and the same, to be honest. It's all good storytelling. So one of the cool things that I always loved about mythology, actually growing up, was that it was passed on orally. So you'd have stories like the Iliad and the Hesiod, the Odyssey, being told over and over and over again, probably at campfires, and they would be told without having been written down. They'd be told just by memory. And that's one of the things I enjoy too. In fact, there are times that I will make up a story right then and there, right, spontaneously. I remember a really, really sweet time. I was with my nieces and my nephew at a birthday party, and they wanted a story. And I'm like, okay, let me think. And I looked across the street, and I saw these woods across the street from their home in Slinger. And I'm like, well, there's a troll that lives in their woods. And they're like, is there really a troll? And I'm like, yeah. And the story just kept going and going and going. And then at every birthday party thereafter, I would add on a little bit more to the story. So we'd kind of start with a recap of, we called it Into the Woods, not knowing about the other musical. And we would add on story, little bits and pieces to this. And eventually I wrote it all down and had some pictures drawn and sketched and stuff just for the fun of it. But it's this cool little story that I have in my notebooks that it would be cool to dig it out, and brush it off and edit it one last time and put it out in public. So maybe that'll be a project for this spring. But storytelling has always been amazing. And of course, my cat Raven wants to join in and help. You'll hear her often during the audio and video clips participating as best she can because she just can't stop. Oh, well. But storytelling it's magical because you're using your own imagination to create an image in your head that you are then relaying and creating this image, for someone else's head, for their imagination. And sometimes they add to it, which is really fun to find out, like, well, how do you picture this character? How do you picture this scene? And it's interesting to see that. Now, once, a story is made into a movie, then yes, it's kind of, permanently fixed, which is fine. And it's a wonderful, wonderful way to, to take those movies further. But sometimes there's just something about hearing a story told or read out loud and just sitting by the campfire under the stars and or snuggled in your bed in your pajamas. There's just something about using your imagination that is so magical that you just attach to the voice instead and let your own creativity draw its own pictures and, show you what it wants to show you. It's fun. So, storytelling, like I said, in mythology, huge passions of mine that I just absolutely adore, along with my cats. So, Luna's the quiet one. Raven, not so much. Raven is the participator. Anyhow, have a lovely evening. I'm going to come back with some synopses for both the short stories that I've been publishing on YouTube so far. So to give you kind of a brief overview, I guess, if you will. So I hope you will check them out. They're Paramore, Fire Goddess, and Immortals. And they're all works in progress and interesting. And it's fun to share them with you midway instead of waiting until they're done, just for the heck of it. Just to see where the stories, and some of the stories are still writing themselves as we go, which is also very interesting. So, all right, all the best.